Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to what's hopefully the last day on Project Beige Girl. So today we're going to do all the bits that need to be done to get this finished. The wings come. Unfortunately the wing has got damaged. I'll show it to you in a second. But it's in colour. I haven't yet held it up to the car because we've had rain every day for the last 4 days and I've been at work for 3 days as well. So I haven't done it at all. I haven't put it up against it to have a look to see if it matches. But fingers crossed it does. However, because it's damaged, I'll show you it now actually. You can't see it quite so much, but it was basically sort of bent just there. I've sort of, it hasn't, I think you can just about feel it if you run your hand over it. But there's also a couple of dents in it down here as well, somewhere there, yeah. So it will be okay to get on the car for now, like to drive around and get the MOT done. But I think it's sort of twisted a little bit as well, so it's not going to sit properly. The people I got it from on eBay have offered to repaint a new one and send it for free. I say for free, obviously, as a replacement for this, or a refund. But they've said check to see what the match is like, because there's no point in them repainting it if it doesn't match. So I've got my fingers crossed, and I'm hoping it's going to match. But it's going on the car now, regardless. Unfortunately, it's a bit on the blowy side today, so I'm hoping it doesn't interfere too much with the audio. But it is quite blowy out there today. So I'm going to set the camera up on the tripod and we'll get that wing off and we'll offer this one up and see what it looks like. Fingers crossed. Looking at it from here and then looking at the car, it looks pretty good, but you know, it's impossible to tell. So we'll have a look. We'll keep our fingers crossed and we'll get on with it. Okay, so I've got the bonnet open. I do need to take the bumper off actually as well, but I'll get the wing off first because it's keeping me in suspense as to whether it's going to be any good colour wise. So let's just get this off. Oh, I forgot I put a bolting down the bottom as well, which I need a spanner for. Can't get to it with the wheel on. All good. Hashtag. Right, so I've undone the bolts on this. Just take this off. And then what we'll do. So that's a decent white wing, so I can use that on another car obviously. So I need to get the front bumper off because I'm going to replace this bracket. I wasn't going to, but it is bent, so I'm going to replace it. So I'll do that on. I'll probably do that on time lapse. There's no point me. I've got to find a bracket, so I'll probably do it all on time lapse, and then we'll offer the wing up. Excuse the noise of the planes as usual. It's a great big one, that one. Blimey, 4 engines and very low. Jesus. Yeah. So we're going to offer up the wing, see if it matches. It's keeping me in suspense at the moment, so I'm just going to offer it up now and see what it's like. So I'm just going to pause you while I go and get it, and then we'll come back. Right, I've got the wing. Again, I apologise for the wind. I'm sure it's completely destroying the audio. So let's. I haven't held this up yet. I'm just going to hold it up now and see how it looks. So looking at the door, it looks a little bit lighter. I expected it to be lighter, if anything, but it's not that bad, you know. I haven't put the bonnet down yet, but looking at it, it's actually, you know, I know it's different because I know it's a new wing, but I reckon I'm going to get away with that, you know. Yeah, I think that's not bad at all. So we'll just remove that for a minute, stick it down there, And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take the bumper off, get this bracket changed, because it is a little bit bent up. I wasn't going to bother changing it, but it is a bit bent up, so I am going to change it. I've got new ones, so to get everything lined up properly, we need to have a decent one really. So the inner wing's obviously not damaged, but I need to get a nice straight bracket on there. So we'll be back in a sec. Right, bonnet's off, bumpers off, headlights off. Now I'm just going to take this bracket off and stick a new one on. Ouch. Just held on by two 10mm bolts, the same bolts that hold the wing on, exactly the same bolts. Find it. Where is it? Probably easier to come in from this side actually. I'll actually hold it up to the new one and see what it's like. It is slightly out, ever so slightly. I did bend it back. Yeah, that's straight. So actually, oh no, you can see there, look, if you hold that together there, you can see where it's bent. So I don't know which part of it's bent, probably the tip. So you can see there where it's bent, so I'll get this new one on. So they are adjustable to a degree. So I won't do it up completely tight to start with. So it does allow for adjustment backwards and forwards. And side to side, strangely enough. Which obviously helps when you're trying to get the headlight in properly. So I'm just going to do it up finger tight for the time being. And then I think what we'll do is we'll offer the wing up. So obviously the wing connects to that with two bolts. Bearing in mind that this wing is slightly distorted. It may have to, when I get the new wing through from the paint people, I may have to adjust it again, but I'm going to get the headlight in. Obviously I want to get this all ready because it's going for MOT, of course. So this sort of, you can see out where it's bent now, doing this. Oh my life. Yeah, you can really see how this is bent. It doesn't really show that much. Let's put that top one in first. At least it hangs off of that one then. It's actually not a bad colour match, you know. Not bad at all. So if I put that one in as well. So we need to adjust the gap. I just want to get it secured first. Someone said to me, do this with it on the floor because then nothing's under strain. But what I'm finding is it's difficult to get the damn nuts done up. Just can't get your hand behind there properly. That's it. So that's the one that's proving a bit of an issue. Although, you say that, once they're all in, it probably help to pull it into place. We'll do those up anyway. I think my battery's gone on me drill. I have got a spare battery, but for the time being I'll just do this by hand. So it may be a tester when we get the headlight in. See how that fits, but well, I'll show you this properly once I've actually just got it all done up. It's actually not a bad match at all, as far as I can see. Better than I thought. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a message to the bloke now and say, look, it's a good match, or fairly good match, acceptable match. Can you do me another one? Let's see what he says. Well, he's already offered to do it anyway, or a refund. But I'll say to him, if you want to give me a refund, I'll take a refund, and I'll put up with this dented one until I can get a good one. If you're happy to do me a new one, then I'll be happy to receive it. I'll see what he says. I like to be fair with these people. It wasn't his fault. It's the courier that's damaged it. So I'll give him a call now, see what he says, and we'll come back. Not a call, sorry, I'll send him a message, and I've also got to call the garage to tell them that I want an intermediate service on this, not just an oil service. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back. Right, the wing's on, relatively straight and in the right position. Got the light in, as you probably saw. The only bolt I haven't got in is the one up there. I'm going to put that in a minute. I'm going to take the wheel off and put the arch liner back in as well. It's only for the MOT, but I don't know whether you need an arch liner in for an MOT, but I'm going to put it in anyway. It's a pain that I've got to take it all back out again to put another wing on when I get it, but c'est la vie. Anyway, what I forgot, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to the seller for this wing in the description, because I bought quite a few wings, pattern part wings, on eBay. The main issue I've had with the wings has been colour match. Now this colour matches really quite well. I haven't shut the bonnet yet, so I don't know how it matches to the bonnet, but to the door you can see, I think I can see it because I know it's different. I reckon that if you didn't know, you wouldn't even notice it if someone didn't tell you. So not only is it good for colour match, but I've actually, apart from the fact this is bent, I've actually I think that this is a much better quality wing than I've had in the past. Always have to put these on, of course. I took this off the old one. This is the wing bracket that goes in there, that holds the bumper on. However, what I have noticed on this wing is, where are we? The bolt here, there's a bolt hole under here with like I'm not sure if it's welded on or bonded on or what, but there's like a nut, a captive nut, which is probably welded on to the underside of this wing. Every pattern part wing I've had in the past hasn't had one, and I've had to use either a nut and bolt or something like that, or try and get the old one out and get it in. This one, it comes with it. I think this is a better quality wing than usual. I've got the box in there, I'm not sure what make it is. It's going to be a Chinese one, but this is far better quality than I've had in the past. So I'm going to put a link to the eBay seller, and I will let them know as well. So if you need a painted wing to colour, at the moment I do recommend these people, despite obviously out of their control that it got damaged. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just move the camera a bit. Oh, that's me in the way. Going to get this bracket put on. I've got my trusty riveter. I'm actually running out of decent sized rivets. I'm going to have to order some more, because obviously I use these for the front panel as well. So I think some of these, yeah, that's too small. I'm going to have to use the quite big ones that I use for the front panel, those sort of size, which are better size really. A little bit too big, but c'est la vie. I'm actually going to have to take a little bit off of this. Oh, it's come off anyway, because you don't want the rivet standing proud, because if it does that, it'll stop the wing going in properly. Right, that's that. What have I done with the rivet? There it is. Now I know people laughed at me in the past when I put gloves on to do the riveting. I have got a rivet gun, I think I mentioned this before, I've got a rivet gun that goes on the compressor, and I've never really got it out and worked out how you use it. I should do really, because I'm sure it's darn sight easy and doing it the manual way. But it's really tough on the hands, this, as I'm such a pussy. I always put gloves on. I usually put gardening gloves on, actually. It's a lot easier with gardening gloves. But so you've got a locator hole there, and then it goes through the hole, and you just keep pressing until it pops, hence why it's called a pop riveter. Nearly there. Jocks the other little bit, and then we do the same on the other. Sometimes when you use new ones of these, the reason I'm using the old one is because one, I've got it, and two, sometimes if you use new brackets, they can be, the tabs can be quite close, and you end up having to bend them down to get the tabs of the bumper in, and obviously bending them down weakens them. So I always, if I've got the old ones, as long as they're not damaged, if I've got the old ones, I will always use them. Not my favourite job in the world to do, normally on the front panels. So I should, one day I'll get the one out on the compressor and use that. I don't use my compressor very much, to be honest. I use it for pumping tyres up, and that's about it. I should make more use of it. It was only a cheap one from, I think I got it in Lidl's. So I don't know how good it is, but it's good for pumping tyres up. So that's that. So I think what we're going to do now is just make sure, I think everything's in that needs to go in. I'll reconnect up the DRL, and then we'll get the bumper on. There's a lot of water in that for some reason. Not why. I know we've had heavy rain, but the bumper wasn't on properly, I suppose. Maybe it's water's dripped down from somewhere. Right, okay, let's I'm just going to put you on time lapse while I do that. There's not much point in showing you me putting a bumper on. Let's take my gloves off, and we'll get this up. Get this offered up, or not offered up, get it put on. So the wing's on, all the arch liners all back on. I've pulled out that little dent there. If you remember, there was that folded in bit, so I've pulled that out with the slide hammer. There's a little bit of paint that needs to go on there just to touch it up. So as you can see, it blends reasonably well with the door, and not too bad with the bonnet either. But that front wing that I thought was front bumper that I thought was okay. Look at the state of it. It actually looks worse through the camera than it really is, but it sticks out like a sore thumb. So what I didn't realise is, I mean, I could heat that up. The corner of that bumper is slightly bent over, so that needs to be straightened, but it doesn't match at all. I'm really quite disappointed about that. So I've got two options. I either take the bumper to get it repaired, which will probably cost me, so I say repaired, you know, a professional repair. So it all needs to be rubbed down again basically and repainted. So I either do that, take the bumper down, have it repainted, or I keep this bumper and use it on another car when I can't get one in colour, and take it down and get it repainted. If I do that, then obviously I'm bumperless. So the other option is to get myself a new bumper painted to code. If I do that, if I can get one on eBay, I don't think there are any on eBay, second-hand ones. Obviously that will be the best option, but I haven't seen any, although I haven't been looking. I've been looking at I always look at bumpers, but I haven't specifically been looking for this colour. So I could get one, if I can get one, I could get one in colour and just take the hit on the cost, or I can get a new one painted to code. It's gonna, whatever I do is gonna delay me from selling this, unfortunately, which is really annoying. But you know, this is the thing that happens with this colour. You know, white, red, black, forgiving, colours match. I thought this did match, but I was comparing it up against the white wing that was on it. So yes, it's not good. It's not good at all. It's a shame, but you know, it's enough to get it through the MOT and so on. But I need to get this sorted because I need to get this car sold now. I'm quite disappointed about that. So we'll have a look on eBay. We'll see what's available. If there's anything there, then we'll buy it today. And then, you know, when it comes, hopefully by beginning of next week, we can get it sorted. Otherwise, yeah, don't know what we're going to do, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. As I'm looking through the camera here, the bonnet doesn't seem to look very good with the wing. It's actually the vertical surface. It's actually shadow. It's not bad. Again, you know, as I mentioned earlier, if you didn't know, you wouldn't know that it didn't match, because when you look at it against the A pillar there, you can't tell the difference. Very, 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 very slight difference with the door. It's never going to match perfect. It was never going to, but it matches better than I thought. But that's the bumper's fault, or rather my fault, not the wings. So as I say, my fault. You know, the paint don't match. Simple as that. Which you know, I use that paint manufacturer all the time because they match. I think this is just, these pastel colours are just really difficult colours to match. That's the problem. So I'm going to pare that a little bit down the bottom there. Just give it a little bit of a rub down and dab some paint onto that. And then I think that's all we're going to do on this one today. Then, one other thing. The silver and black centre caps on these wheels, I'm not happy with the fact that they're pushed in. The tabs on them don't really hold onto it tightly. So I'm not convinced that you're driving along and these things won't fly off. Look, if you do that, I know they've got sticky tabs on them, but I'm worried that these ain't secure enough, and I dread to think how much they cost on their own. So if I end up losing them, or the buyer starts losing them, I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these wheel caps off, and I'm going to bond them all on. The centre caps, that is. I'm going to bond them all on with Tiger Seal. Let that go off for a couple of hours, and then put them all back on. Quite disappointing. I've still got to nip up that side of the bumper yet. Obviously that doesn't, that needs pulling up in the corner. But yeah, it's quite disappointing. But let's get on with these wheel trims, and then we can get this car back outside. And off for it's actually service and MOT tomorrow. I thought it was Thursday, but it's not, it's tomorrow. So we need to get it all ready to go. It's having an intermediate service and an MOT, which is, I was really annoyed about this bumper. You know, it looks fine this side, obviously, but we haven't done any repair this side. Let's show you it again. Frustrating, very frustrating, because I'm pleased with the way it repaired. It's just, and there was more work to do, as you know, for repair. As someone, there's a few people who said to me about rubbing the clear coat down with fine, I think it was 1,500, 2,000, and then 2,500 panel wiping between each, I think it was, and then repolish like I did. Obviously, a lot of you pointed out that I actually used too much polish, but I needed to get that done. But of course, there's no point now because the colour don't match. So it's all right for touching little dings in, but it's no good for doing this. So shame, but there you go. C'est la vie. So I've just taken it for a little run up the road, round the block, warmed the engine up to normal temperature. Runs like a dream. The wheels need aligning because obviously where the bottom arms and what have you have been changed. It's steering wheels at about 11 o'clock, maybe 5 to 12, something like that. It's more of that water out the exhaust pipe. I'm hoping that taking that for a good old blast has stopped that. Yeah, there's no water actually dripping from it now. So I think whatever was in there has drained away now. So that's good. That's that done. So yeah, apart from the annoyingness of the bumper, it's done. It's really frustrating. I've got to do these wheel trims. I've only taken one off so far, but I'm going to do those now, let them dry, and then I'm going to make a start on this one. So when I leave those to dry for a couple of hours, put those back on, and I'll park this up ready for service and MOT tomorrow. Today we had a visit from an old friend. This was a car I sold a while ago. I sold two cars to this lady. This one was her daughter's car. It's a nice red 14 plate Sport. Recently she crunched it at the back and she wanted me to repair it for her. So let's have a look, see what happened. So you might recognise this from I think I did this one on past projects, because I did this car before I started doing stuff for the YouTube channel. This was a Sport, as you can see, 14 plate Sport with 20-something thousand on the clock that I did, I'm not sure how long ago it was, maybe 18 months ago, something like that. The girl who bought it contacted me, or rather her mum did. She's reversed into something, despite having a reversing sensor, she's reversed into something. She's broken that, put a dent in the bumper. She'd broken the back light. I've already changed the back light for a spare one that I had, but I bought a better one because this one's got a few scratches on it. So she brought it to me today to see if we can fix it. So I'm hoping to be able to do it. It's also out there as well, so I'm hoping that the bracket's not broken, and it's just a matter of heating that bit up and pushing the bumper out. It's making some funny squeaking noises on the sensors, so it's a possibility that it's broken one of the sensors. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do anything about that. And we'll touch up the little bits of paint that are cracked as well. We'll see what became of it, see if we can improve on it. There was a lot more on here, but I got the old rubbing compound on it, but I'll see what else I can do with it. Obviously I'm not going to be able to do anything about these cracks in the paintwork, but I think we're going to probably have to get the bumper off to do this, to get some heat behind it and push it out, which is a bit of a nuisance, but it's got to come off anyway because of this, where it's sticking out. So we'll have a go, see what we can do. So I managed to get the dent out, pushed out quite nicely. There's a very, 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 very slight bit there, so I'm going to heat it up again and do that. I put a new one of those in. I've managed to put that back in. Wind keeps getting behind it and I'm pulling it. That's broken. Luckily I've got a new one of those, so I'm going to drill that out now and put a new one on. That's come out pretty well. I'm pretty pleased with that. So the dent has gone more or less. Still see it slightly. Most of the paint chips have been painted. A little bit of glue there or something that's on there. I'll have to get that off. But I've polished it. Used the old finishing cutting compound. Gone over the area. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Pleased with that. Parking sensors all seem to be working as well, which is good. Yeah, I think she'll be pleased with that. There's a little extra gift. I'm going to give it a wash as well. Good job. There you go, all done. I've even cleaned the car as well. Cleaned on the outside, cleaned the windows. I didn't clean the wheels, but I did everything else. So yeah, it's looking good. Not a bad job. Not a bad job at all. I'm sure she'll be pleased. I'm not going to charge very much. It's probably taken me a good couple of hours, but I'm probably going to charge. I did actually spot a little dig on the bumper as well, so I might do that. I'm only going to charge her about 30 quid for doing it. When I sell the cars, I tell people that I'll do stuff at cost. This is obviously a little bit more than just a little bit, but yeah, I think she'll be pleased with that. Obviously she's got to pay for the light, she's got to pay for the bumper reflector, but apart from that, and the bracket as well, but apart from that, about 30 quid for me doing it, that'll do, I think. I'm sure she'll be pleased. I better give her a call. Hello! Excuse me a second while I pull out. Right, Project Beige. I am driving Project Beige, and she drives lovely. Project Beige girl, I should say. Excuse the angle. I've just got my phone wedged in the phone holder. order. So where were we? Yeah, so I've just picked it up from the garage, and it's past the MOT, and it's at a intermediate service. Now on the MOT there was a couple of advisories. One of the advisories is one of the joints on the control arm, bottom arm, wishbone, whatever you like to call it. Obviously, as you know, we changed those, but we used the ones that came with the subframe. So obviously myself or Connor didn't notice that the bush was a bit on the iffy side, but I ain't changing it. It can stay like it. Let's say it's an advisory. The other thing was they said there's an oil leak from the sump. I don't think there is. I think, as you know, I cleaned off the oil. I checked that, and it all looked good. There was no oil coming from it. I got no oil on my driveway. So I think what they've done is they've seen oil around it, probably some that I missed when I cleaned it all up, all that oil and grease that came out of the drive shaft and the gearbox, and come to the conclusion that the oil was leaking. I also, as you know, put that black gloss paint on the bottom of the sump where it hits it slightly, a slight dent, and it had gone down to the silver metal. So I think they think that is some dodgy sealant or something. So it's not leaking. I'm pretty confident it's not leaking. As I say, there's no oil on the drive. It's been parked in front of the house and on the road, and there's nothing there, so it can't be. It can't be dripping. So we'll forget about that. So yeah, it's past the MOT. So where are we now? So as you know, the bumper don't match. What are we going to do about it? Well, I've got two options. I can buy a painted to code bumper, take this bumper off, just use this on another car when it needs painting. So if I get a painted to code bumper, it's probably going to be a little bit light, like the wing's a little bit light, only slightly, which is fine for the matching the wing. Will it match the bonnet? Will it match the other wing? I don't know. The other option is to keep this this bumper on, take it to a paint shop. I need to find another paint shop, if I can get one that does a quick turnaround, and just get it blended in. I think that's probably the best bet, and probably the cheapest. It's going to cost me £189 to get a new bumper painted to code, which may not match. So I don't think that's probably the best idea. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, there's another paint shop I know of that people have recommended to others. I've seen on various internet Facebook pages where people have asked for recommendations. Of course, I've always recommended the fella that I go to, but as I'm having these issues with time, I need to get this one, now it's MOT'd especially and service, I need to get this one finished and sold, and I can't do that until I get that bumper painted. So I think I'm going to go out tomorrow in this car, take it down to, I'm going to first of all say try that one. I'll have a look tonight online and see what other ones are around, see who can do me some good deals for cash. If I can get that blended in for 120 quid, I'll be happy. Again, you know, I've spent more money on this car than I'd expected to, and I've serviced it, of course. And the only reason I've done the service is, as I told you before, is because so I can give the warranty. I'm now wondering whether to bother with a warranty, because that's another £79 I've got to spend. So I'm going to end up making very little money on this car again. That'll be 3 cars in a row I've made very little money on. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do tomorrow. If I can find someone that can sort it out within the next week or so for me, then I'll do that. Apart from that, I don't really know what to do. That's my two options, and I think option B is probably the best option. This afternoon I went down in school traffic. I made the mistake of leaving at like 2:45 to go down to a local tyre place who does the part worn tyres. I took the two wheels off of the new white one. Forgotten what it's called, Project Cooey. Went down there, fought my way through the traffic, sat in some traffic jams in roadworks where there's no one working, but there's still roadworks. It took me forever to get down there. They're shut. So I was not happy. So I fought all my way back, and and then I've had to jump on the bus to come down and pick this up. So I've wasted a few hours today. Oh, not a few hours, but I wasted some time today. So yeah, I'm on the way home now. Be home in about 10 minutes, and then we'll add this little bit to the end of the video, and then that will be the video for the day. That'll be, I don't suppose it'll be the end of Project Beige, because I will do another video, or I may incorporate into another video, a different video, a compilation video maybe, as to as and when I do get it finished and completed, obviously with a bumper in colour. So until then, that's the end of this video. Once again, hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it's proved informative, and it's giving you something to do for half an hour watching it. If you are a casual viewer, I would encourage you and plead with you to hit that subscribe button just there. Try not to crash while I'm driving. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos.